Welcome everyone to V8's Online's live coverage of the iRacing.com V8 Supercar official online series, proudly presented by V8's Online Superstore. Very, very soon coming to us all. Direct Clutch Services and our very good friends at V8 Supercars fan group. Jay Kennedy, Stephen Sandman Clark here for the action of round 4 from Summit Point Raceway. Sandman's just jumped in the box. He's all excited, ready to be here. G'day, Sandman.
G'day, Jay. G'day, everyone who's tuning in. Excited about this. Tell you what, just made it by the skin of my nose there, but all pumped for a great race around Summit Point.
Yeah, and a man that we've missed. Love having you back. Matthew Hill. Hilly's joined us for the hot lap tonight. G'day, mate.
G'day, boys. G'day. It's good to be back.
Yeah, you've missed it. You've missed the racing, and we've missed your racing. So good to have you back, mate.
Oh, mate, if it was anything like last night, mate, you haven't missed anything. I really struggled last night, but I'm back on it today, so I'm feeling quietly confident.
Quietly confident. Tonight you're going to do something a little bit different. You're going to do 2 hot laps, so we'll talk after the lap, but you're going to do a flying lap, and you're also going to do a fuel-saving lap to show the guys the difference between the two.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I'm going to attempt a flying lap. I haven't done too many of those, so just bear with me, and I'm really scared about turn 2.
Flying doesn't mean hitting the big bumps and going through the air either, mate.
Yeah. Third gear coming out of last corner. Nice and sideways. I've got Wayne Berg behind me. He's a bit faster than I am, but anyway. Try and brake just after the first lot of cones here. Nice and hard down the second gear. Turn it in, nice and smooth on the accelerator. Try and keep the car as straight as possible. Fourth. Now this is the third gear corner. You want to go as wide as you can without touching that grass, because if you touch that grass you are gone. Up to fourth gear, up over the crest, hold fourth, ride the brake a little bit. Whoop, and I'm off. There we go.
Hot lap.
Hot lap. Not so hot. Alright, so this is the second gear section as well. We'll take it a bit easy through here. Don't spin the tyres up. Third gear on exit as well. Try and keep the car as straight as possible. Easy on the accelerator. Last corner is also another third gear corner. You want to lay apex as late as possible. And now we'll do a fuel saving lap. This is what I've been doing the most of. So get off really, really early. Coast down to the 3 group of witches hats, down to second gear. Same again, easy on the accelerator. The less accelerator you use, the more fuel you save, so wait till you get in a straight line before you plant it. Off again really early. Down to third, try and keep as much corner speed up as possible. You want to get off the accelerator right on the crest and ride it all the way down here. Coasting hard. Now, hey, made that apex that time. Second time's a charm. Second gear through here. Now, this is pretty much the same as what I normally attack a lap with. Balancing the accelerator and the car attitude to try and keep it as straight as possible. The third gear again, holding the accelerator just off full percentage, otherwise use too much fuel, and get off the accelerator again really early. Coast. Missed that apex by about a metre, and that's 2 very ordinary laps.
Love it, mate, love it. Good to have someone out there that can stuff it up like I do every lap, so makes me feel a lot better, mate.
Well, you can definitely tell what I've done more of. That'd be the fuel saving laps today, that's for sure.
With fuel saving, mate, we know the numbers are pretty close. A lot of guys actually won't be able to make it home fuel saving, so do you think that's an advantage for you to be able to do that?
Yeah, definitely, but I'll tell you who has really got the pace, and probably one to really keep an eye out for, is Michael Fabian. He is absolutely flying and can do it without a pit stop. So my tip for the race, and I'm racing in it, I'm not even going to tip myself, I'm going to tip Michael Fabian. He is on fire.
It's interesting to hear you talking about the fuel saving, and I think a lot of speculation as far as some people loved it, some people hated it, but to the point where it is tonight, and as close as it is to the fuel margin, is it worth firing down pit lane and putting on a set of tyres or going for a splash of fuel, or just fuel saving?
Well, I think that fuel saving, if you can do it properly, will definitely be the way to go. I know that if you're one of the really fast guys, if you're the top three, so Madison, a Muggleton, or a Rugyar, then you probably be able to make the pit stop and still be an influence on the podium. But I really think that the only way to win the race is to fuel save.
I think it's the first time we've had a race that has actually had a fuel saving option that guys are actually thinking about still making a pit stop, because it is still a viable option. I think a lot of guys talking, there's 4 or 5 real options that you can go with in this race. And I think that the race distance, even though we have turned it into a fuel saver, is still spicy enough that we're going to see some good close racing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very, very close cut, right on the border of whether you pit or not. So, but I think the only way to win is to pit. Is to go fuel saving.
And it's a fine art too, isn't it, Matty? I mean, there's a lot of people out there. Jay and I spend a lot of time racing and stuff, but I can't fuel save for the life of me. I mean, I can do it, but I can't run fast. So, I think a lot of people underestimate just how tough it is to save fuel at the same time and be able to be, a pacey driver up the front of the pack.
Look, a lot of people hate fuel saving races, but I just think it adds another element. I actually quite enjoyed the fuel saving, and I'm going to probably start it right when I say that. But I quite enjoy it because I sort of lack a little bit on corner entry with my braking style. So this really eliminates that, I suppose, and really keeps the mid corner speed up, which is what I'm not too bad at. But I tell you, yeah, fuel saving does take a lot of practice to get right and to get your pace correct.
I think speaking to Madison down earlier, he's said he's got no hope of saving fuel. So he said he'd have to save almost half a litre a lap. So interesting that he says that he's going to have to save that much fuel. So he's decided no hope. Justin, I know was going to try and save fuel, but he can't do it. Muggo's the same. He can't save enough fuel. So it really could mix up someone new to win a race tonight. We could have a first-time winner.
That's exciting in itself, isn't it? I mean, that's good, and interesting to hear everyone's different perspectives as well, because obviously the faster you are on track, the more fuel you're using. So, some of the other guys that may be struggling time-wise, that aren't doing, what the pole time is, sort of around high 109s, for the guys that sort of maybe running 110s or early 111s, then it could be easier for them to save fuel.
Now, on screen at the moment, you see an interesting picture from Facebook. This is Justin Ruggie. He's got all the pit strategies worked out. He's got no idea what he wants to do, working it all out. So this is how intense and mathematical this is tonight. So this is really close. And as you can see from Justin, he's got strategies everywhere, trying to work out what he's going to do. Awesome to see.
I think a lot of people take it for granted a little bit. People just think you get in your simulator or jump onto your desktop with your steering wheel and off you go. But there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes. These fast guys use a lot of the fuel programs that are out there. There's a lot of telemetry and that they can read as far as the way their shocks and the way the car behaves. So it's actually cool to see sort of all these guys that use different things to make them quick on race day.
Are you going off to run another qualifying, Hilly, or are you happy to start mid-pack and work your way through when everyone pits ahead of you?
Well, I don't think I'm much of a chance to improve on my time, judging by the way I went screaming off at the hairpin.
It was a good lap, mate. It was a good lap.
So I don't think I've much chance of improving my time, but I just want to just touch on one thing with the fuel saving races before I leave and prepare for the race. We have seen some absolute screaming battles in the fuel saving races. So everybody hates racing in them, but it really provides some excellent fueling for spectators.
Yeah, I think, and this track too is definitely going to change it, considering guys will have to stop. This is going to be a very action-packed race, considering how hard this track is to pass on.
Oh, absolutely. And I tell you, actually, you see a lot of manoeuvres done on the fuel saving phases, I'd say you call it. You see a lot of moving into turn 1 and turn where I went screaming off in the hot lap into that hairpin, which is turn 4 or 5 or something. It's you see a lot of overtaking manoeuvres at this track now.
Yeah, it's a tough old track, Summit Point. We sort of briefly touched on it. It's last week we described it as Winton and Simmons Plains joined together on steroids. So, and it's probably narrower than Winton. And we saw over the weekend how tough the V8s were to pass each other at Winton. So, yeah, gonna be a fun race, no doubt. Well, we might let you run off, Hilly, and go and grab yourself a drink and get ready to go. Good luck tonight.
Thanks very much. And I've just decided to do qualifying now.
Oh, good job. Good job. We talked you into it.
I mean, all right, guys. Thanks and have a good call.
Thanks, mate.
All the best, buddy.
It's been a long time since we've raced at Summit Point, so we thought we'd bring up the results from the last time we were here. It was 2011, March 2011. Look at who won the race. Madison Down won by 15 seconds in a 30-lap race here at Summit Point, but Corey Slade, Michael McCabe, Simon Madden, Darren Vouch, Mitchell McLeod, Troy Cox, Andrew Lee, Fabian Jagermeist, and Vern Nortgart, the top 10 the last time we were here. But it's been, what's that, nearly 2.5 years since we raced the V8 Supercar at this track.
It's interesting, isn't it, when you flick through the history books, and it's a good little inclusion to the championship. Although, like you said, it is going to probably provide a little bit of nose to tail action as far as tough to pass. But hey, motor racing's not supposed to be easy, because if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. So at the end of the day, it's a great inclusion, and interesting to flick through those results to see some of those names. No doubt Corey Slade would be pretty happy with that up there.
Yeah, he actually made a comment that this is back when I could actually drive the V8 Supercar. He doesn't like the car too much now, but he loved it back then. He actually won a Monday night race, believe it or not. Can't
there you go.
Say that too loud. Corey's not here, so Corey actually won a race one day. we won't talk about that too much. Here's the championship standings as they are after last week on screen. 10 points between first and second. Muggleton leading at the moment. Madison Down in second. Sean Kelly third. Lee Day, Lee Ellis, those two can never be separated, those guys. They just love battling with each other. James McKnight, Michael Fabian, Wayne C. Burke, Matt Nethercote and Dean O'Brien, the top 10. Obviously, still a long way to go in the championship. A few guys only do 2 out of the 3 races. So we'll see that start to tighten up later in the season.
It's interesting, isn't it? Some of the names there, like the dramas and the races that Justin's missed. It doesn't look like he's in the fold, but come the end of the season, when you get to include all the drop rounds and everything else, it'll bring him right up there. So, but good start for Muggleton to lead the championship. It's early days, obviously, coming into round 4 of the championship, but I guess he's been known in the past not to have some great starts to a season. So he always seems to come strong towards the end of the season. So it's actually good to see that's other way around this year, and hopefully he can keep that momentum as the season goes on.
Nice and close, which is what we want, and we want it to come right down to the last race. So we go to the qualifying for tonight, which is very, very close as well. Seb hasn't got the qualifying results on screen at the moment. I'll read them out though. Justin Ruggie is currently on pole by just over a tenth. Then Madison Down, Josh Muggleton, Sean Kelly, Lee Day, Dean O'Brien, Michael Fabian, Wayne C. Burke, Lee Ellis and Ian Ford. There they magically appear in the corner. There it is. That's your current top 10 in qualifying as they stand at the moment. So it's very close.
Yeah, it's close, and it'd be interesting to see sort of what times they were running last time here, because obviously we've gone through a couple of changes with our car, and the tyre model's changed a little bit, so no doubt the times have gotten a little bit better, and everyone's sort of starting to get their head around these cars a little bit more, which is good to see.
We're not far away from getting pictures through from qualifying. I'll see if I can find out the times from last time, Sam, man. You know that I love getting that sort of stuff. Before we get into it, though, we might make a couple of announcements. I think I can do that. Can I, Seb? Yes, no, yes, I can. Okay, firstly, we will make our first announcement. We will welcome our new sponsor to V8s Online. Big thanks to Race Recall. If you're looking to get yourself a HD onboard camera, check out Race Recall. Very, very cool little product. So they will be our replay sponsor. So you get to see their beautiful, cool logo in our new replay videos. Second announcement, We will be live next week. Next Monday, fingers crossed. We will be live on YouTube. Hooray. We've finally done a lot of YouTube testing. A few guys have been able to tune in. And we have got it pretty much down pat. We're really enjoying how it's going. It's a lot better to watch. A lot better for us to use streaming. So it's just a matter of working out which day we decide to do it. So next Monday night will be our first live official broadcast on YouTube.
It's exciting stuff, isn't it?
Very
That's great.
exciting. Third announcement is our website will be live, including, fingers crossed, including V8's Online Superstore, which isn't very far away. That will be live Monday as well.
So it's all happening. It's
All happening. Busy week ahead. Damn it, you're going to have to do overtime.
Oh, look out. I'll put my OT form in into tonight.
Oh, no, there's no forms. You just rock up. We got live pictures through now. I'll tell you what, a big gaggle of cars bunched up coming through the S's. Justin Ruggie is straight out to try and get a hot lap in straight away. I'll jump on board with Justin to watch this lap. You can see how narrow the track is, how windy the track is, how tough it is, or how tough it will be to get a move done at this place.
And quite a dressed little racetrack too. Plenty of big tall trees. Reminds me a little bit of the Spa, but no, it's a great little location, great racetrack, and a couple of bumps which will keep the guys honest as well.
And the other fun bit is there's another layout just over behind the S's, known as the Jefferson circuit. Some good fun times to be had on that circuit in some small powered cars and even high powered cars, Sam, and I'm sure you would have had a bit of fun there when you were a rookie driver coming through.
Yeah, that's what some of these racetracks are great, aren't they? When they've got a couple of different layouts to them, and tends to throw a bit of a spanner in the works when these guys sort of get used to one sort of layout and then they get thrown to the other one. But yeah, it's really good.
No, we're not running at the Jefferson layout next season. It only has 15 pit stalls. We can't do it, unfortunately. But Jefferson layout, imagine a 1.2 kilometre track that's about as wide as a toothpick. That's it. This lap from Justin's looked good. This could be an improvement. No. That's a 10.4. He's only a quarter of a second away. Got your end on a lap at the moment. No, out lap. Scott will be in later in the season to do a hot lap preview before a race in a couple of weeks as well.
Didn't he have everyone's chin wagging last week as far as talking about he wants to return and do some more racing, which is good, and no doubt plenty of teams have been throwing him a lifeline as far as wanting to sign him up to a team, and I believe he's just going to go solo for a little bit and just weigh up his options. So pretty exciting to hear what's going to happen with Scott there in the coming weeks.
Dave Oliver yet to post a competitive lap time for the week. Best lap for the week is a 14.3, so that was his lap just before. Tough time to get a lap down.
Yeah, leaving it to the last minute there, but no doubt having a red hot go. He's got no traffic around him, so if you can put everything together, fingers crossed he'll be able to jump up the leaderboard a little bit. It was a little bit sideways there coming off the front straight though. Letting that left through know all about it.
Could be in the 12s, I think. They've lost a bit of time. 11.5. So that's about what pace we'll see the front guys run in the race pace. Got your ends actually on his flying lap now. Good first sector at a 30.2.
Tell you what, in the laps I've done through the week, that little left-hander he had just before into the right-hander that he's in now, so easy to grab the curb there, and it gives you an off-track. You don't really have to be too much over the curb to cause a bit of an off-track there, so something they really have to be mindful about in qualifying.
And the curb, the way that the curb's laid out, you really want to grab it because it tucks you around the corner and pulls you through.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
And 5.79 for Scott. That's a PB for the week.
Just trying to have a look at the times. I think that'll probably put him in about 11th place, maybe 11th or 12th at this stage.
Matthew Hill about to start a flying lap, or just starting his flying lap. Interesting to see Richie Stanaway here as well tonight.
Oh, a little bit.
Oh, yeah, too much.
So easy to do because that is a bit of a blind apex sort of as you're starting to come up where that you can run wide there and you can use most of the curb, but as soon as you start to venture on off into the dust, that's it, unfortunately.
Richie Stanaway yet to actually post a lap time this week. It's a little bit interesting jumping in the iRacing V8 Supercar considering he raced at Spa over the weekend. Or drove at Spa, I should say. John Latham, another driver yet to post a lap time. Must be the way they're doing it this week at LMR, just did the last session.
So they've been heavily testing through the week to get these cars exactly the way they like them, but at the end of the day, if, he's having a moment there. He'll lose a lot of speed there, but unfortunately I think that might have just thrown his concentration a little bit because there was a number of cars on the entry of that corner that were just sort of giving him space so he could get on with his lap, but may have just broke his concentration there, unfortunately.
Going to have to push on because, as we said, he hasn't posted a lap time yet, so he's going to have to put one out. He's only lost about 4 tenths from where need to be to get that pole time, in the low 10s. I actually don't think we'll see Justin Ruggie's time beaten here. Josh Muggleton, Madison Down Eaton, both of those guys have decided not to run in this final session.
That's interesting, isn't it? Because you normally do see the boys having a red hot go there at the last session, but at the end of the day they know what they've got underneath them, so it looks like Latham's just going to park it and call it quits for that lap. That man on screen now, Sean Kelly, as he crosses the start-finish line to start a lap. You can see the cars just to the inside there, just trying to move out of his way.
Probably the strangest track in regards to pit exit. The pit exit actually, well, the pits is not at the start-finish line. They're just before the start-finish line. So I think it's the only track, the whole of iRacing, that doesn't have a pit at the start-finish line. Sorry, let's say that again. It's the only road course.
For everyone at home everyone at home who didn't hear that was our director in our ear just telling us, hold on a second, what about Talladega? So nice little save there from Missy Kennedy.
Yeah, well, the only track the V8s will go to.
We're just over the halfway mark of this session, 10 minutes gone, and Sean Kelly's going to cross the start-finish line.
10-2.
10-2.
Wow. That was pretty close to Justin.
Yeah, Justin's heart rate would have gone through the roof there for a moment. Here's another one of the V8 Supercar Fan Group Falcons, it's Lee Day. He makes his way across the start-finish line to start another hot lap. A little bit of traffic in front of him, so hopefully that doesn't play too much into his hands. So he reports that Mullen behind him as well has started a hot lap.
And Marlon, another driver that I don't think he knows which strategy he wants to go for. I think for him both strategies are just as equal. I think a few guys that don't find themselves up near the front of the field are going to do the no-stop strategy. I going to be easier to do it coming through the field than being at the front.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, if you don't sort of have too much pace on your side, then that's actually not a bad card to play because, yeah, we've seen how much time you can lose as far as, you know, making your way down pit lane, and some people will just go for that splash because you don't want to sacrifice too much time with tyres. But I don't think tyre wear is going to be a huge factor here, but at the end of the day, nice little carve into pit lane there.
I was just watching Lee Day there, cut in front of someone else. Almost contact made. Marlon just missing out on a PB.
Not much in it. These guys are really having a red hot go.
8 1,000ths away from a PB. Wayne Burke out. Pretty good first sector. The 30.1 is where you need to be. 30 flat would be an impressive first sector. Best lap for the week of 40.4. Sean Kelly also out on track, coming to the first checkpoint.
So Wayne is just starting to close up on the back there of Dean on this front straight. I thought he might be able to get some sort of sniff of a draft there, but not quite close enough.
Oh, 40.5 for Burke. Kelly continuing on his lap. Sean Kelly's just aborted his lap, just as I'd say, doing a good time. I think Justin Ruggie has just started a flying lap coming into the first checkpoint.
Oh, grabs a bit of dirt there on the edge there, but he's still got his foot in it, so he hasn't got an off track there, which is good.
There we go, 29.9, here we go. This is quick. Quickest first checkpoint we've seen so far. Look at how much dirt he uses there.
The car looks good, looks hooked up. The time he needs to beat is a 109.798. That's obviously his fastest time that he's punched out through the week. And tell you what, him and a number of people would love to see that sort of that monkey off his back for Monday night races, because he hasn't had too much success. Unfortunately, things haven't quite gone his way. Let's see what he punches out as he comes out of the last turn towards the start finish line.
Got it. No. 9.9. That'd be enough for P3 overall. But obviously he'll still keep P1. Good lap. Got your ends on another lap. Go to Sean Kelly, starting a lap again. Marlon McMullen tucking in behind.
Oh, yeah, thing moving around just as he's trying to get on the throttle there. A couple of nasty bumps there that catch you out because you really want to master the throttle coming out of that last turn. But a couple of bumps there do keep you honest there every now and then. You can see he just got a little bit sideways, but did a great job of holding on to it.
30 flat, first checkpoint. This is a really good... Oh!
I think he just started to suffer a bit of understeer. You can see he's struggling, just decided to abort because, what are we, 4.5 minutes left in this session, so I guess he's just figured that it's time to get on with it. That lap wasn't the best, didn't go to plan, so he's starting again.
He only has to gain a 10th as well to gain a position. He knows that Muggo's not in this session, so makes it a bit easier knowing the guys that you're trying to beat aren't lapping and going quicker as well. So that'll help him know what times he needs to get at each checkpoint. What's happening with Carwyn May's skin? He's lost his livery off his car. He must be going too quick. Of course, the king of fuel saving, so he could actually factor in tonight. The absolute king of fuel saving. Carwyn?
Tell you what, not a bad talent to have under the old right foot too, because like I was saying, I can't do it for the life of me, but anyone that can fuel
Yep.
save and go quick, that's huge.
Justin Ruggier on another flying lap and another good first sector. Here we go. This could be. Oh no, he's in the pits.
Oh.
Must have lost a bit of
It's
time
interesting.
during the S's. Use that to practice pit entry.
It's an interesting thought, isn't it? That maybe he's given away a bit of his strategy there, so maybe he's thinking about the old pit stop.
I'm pretty sure Justin will pit tonight. I'm very, very sure that Justin will pit. You know, Marty Atkins on screen, another man that may feature tonight. Go to Bones, Graham Fireland. He'll be wrapped to feature in a broadcast, no Bones personally, so he'll be very excited to see himself on screen later on.
Yeah, it always puts a bit up in your step.
Best lap for the week is an 11.6, so you're looking to improve on that. Few minutes to go in the session. PB 11.5. 11.513. It's a PB for Bones. Here comes Richie Stanaway. Managed to punch out a 10.9.
So far so good as he crosses the start-finish line.
Proves it. And 7. Right behind Marlon McMullen in this session. Got your end. Oh, look at the wheel work. I don't know if you saw that, Sam, but he had that thing almost fully rotated.
Yeah, he was working it, wasn't he? There was a couple
Usually
of
that
moments,
means
someone's
quick
having a
as
moment in front of him.
Oh, never a good sign, so you can smoke off in front of you. PB for him, yes, 10.4. Moves into 5th in the session, that'll put him inside the top 10. Lee Day starting a lap, 10 seconds to go. We're into the final little moment of qualifying. May and O'Brien also behind him getting across the line before the checker flag come out, which is now out. This is the last chance. This is quick. 30 flat for Lee Day. Could he jump a couple of spots? Could we have a V8 Supercar fan group ANZ Motorsport front row?
Yeah, definitely don't rule it out. The car looks hooked up, and obviously him and Ruggie are very happy with their cars at the moment. There's a right on board. The last couple of turns he's got to get round this racetrack. That traffic in front of him won't play into it at all, so he's got it nice and clear. He's only got this last turn, the right-hander.
This looks very good. Got to get it planted, got to get it out of the corner. Oh, this is going to be a good lap. 10.1 PB.
Oh, wow, excellent. That'll put him
Good
into
time.
4th place in front of Sean Kelly, perhaps.
Jump Sean Kelly.
Yeah, it will.
Great lap. Cowan May also a PB with an 11.3 right at the end. And that will pretty much end the session. Michael Yeo's still out on track, but he won't have this lap count. So counters now counting down. So it's all final and official. Gone through the qualifying results. Justin Ruggier best in the session. Not enough to improve overall, but he will start from pole. Lee Day does improve. Gains up to 4th position. Sean Kelly not quite enough to maintain that fourth. He'll drop back to fifth. Wayne Burke, good lap time. Scott Uren improving his time as well. John Latham, Dean O'Brien, Matthew Hill, Marlon McMullen, Richie Stanaway, Corey Preston, Dave Oliver, Marty Atkins, Howard May, Paul Keegan, Phil Hobbs, Michael Yeo, Andrew Wallace, Michael Wilson, Graham Filand, Bo Cattell, and Nathan Britton, the 22 drivers we had in this session. Tell you what,
Excellent,
Sam,
nice
this is
to
going
see.
to be one tight, close, hair-pulling, nerve-wracking, strange, bizarre, unbelievably fun races we're ever going to see.
Right, bring it on. The best bit, we're only a few minutes away, and the first two rows are going to be ANZ and Tats.com Racing, so bring it on. Should be a nice battle to the first turn.
We'll be back in around about 7 minutes' time, guys. You're watching V8's Online's live coverage in the iRacing.com V8 Supercar Official Online Series, proudly presented by V8's Online Superstore, Direct Clutch Services, and V8 Supercars Fan Group.